The man in the moon had silver shoon, and his beard was of silver thread, with opals crowned and pearls all bound about his girdle stead. In his mantle grey he walked one day across a shining floor, and with crystal key and secrecy he opened an ivory door. On a filigree stair of glimmering hair, then lightly down he went, and merry was he at last to be free on a mad adventure bent. In diamonds white he had lost delight, he was tired of his minaret, of tall moonstone that towered alone on a lunar mountain set. He would dare any peril for ruby and beryl to broider his pale attire, for new diadems of lustrous gems, emerald and sapphire. He was lonely too, with nothing to do but stare at the world of gold, and hark to the hum that would distantly come as gaily round it rolled. At plenilune in his argent moon, in his heart he longed for fire, not the limpid lights of one seely nights, for red was his desire, for crimson and rose and ember glows, for flame with burning tongue, for the scarlet skies and a swift sunrise when a stormy day is young. He had seas of blues and the living hues of forest green and fen, and he yearned for the mirth of the populous earth and the sanguine blood of men. He coveted song and laughter long and viands hot and wine, eating pearly cakes of light snowflakes and drinking thin moonshine. He twinkled his feet as he thought of the meat of pepper and punch galore, and he tripped unaware on his slanting stair, and like a meteor, a star in flight ere Yule one night, flickering down he fell, from his leathery path to a foaming bath in the windy bay of Bell. He began to think, lest he melt and sink, what in the moon to do, when a fisherman's boat found him far afloat, to the amazement of the crew, caught in their net, all shimmering wet in a phosphorescent sheen of bluey whites and opal lights and delicate liquid green. Against his wish, with a morning fish, they packed him back to land. You had best get a bed in an inn, they said, the town is near at hand. Only the knell of one slow bell high in the seaward tower announced the news of his moonsick cruise at that unseemly hour. Not a hearth was laid, not a breakfast made, and dawn was cold and damp. There were ashes for fire and for grass the mire, for the sun a smoking lamp in a dim back street. Not a man did he meet, no voice was raised in song. There were snores instead, for all folk were abed, and still would slumber long. He knocked as he passed on doors locked fast, and called and cried in vain, till he came to an inn that had light within, and tapped at a window pane. A drowsy cook gave a surly look. "What do you want?" said he. "I want fire and gold and songs of old and red wine flowing free." "You won't get them here," said the cook with a leer, "but you may come inside. Silver I lack and silk to my back. Maybe I'll let you bide." A silver gift the latch to lift, a pearl to pass the door. For a seat by the cook in the ingle nook it cost him 20 more. For hunger or drouth naught passed his mouth, till he gave both crown and cloak, and all that he got, in an earthen pot broken and black with smoke, was porridge cold and 2 days old, to eat with a wooden spoon. For puddings of Yule with plums, poor fool, he arrived so much too soon, an unwary guest on a lunatic quest from the mountains of the moon.